do you time entry and exit points?
Okay, it depends on the strategy that I'm employing. So it really does vary from strategy to strategy. Am I trading on an intraday basis, or am I trading on an end of day basis, or like on a swing trades? So how do I time them? Depends on the strategy. The most important thing when it comes to timing is just that I've got an appropriate stop loss in place and I've got an appropriate target. I trade with targets. I know some traders like to just allow their stop losses to trail them up behind price and just allow them to stop them out, but I use targets.
Is it true that you prefer trading at the early stages of a trend when the market has topped or bottomed?
No. No, it is true, but it's only one factor of my trading. So I have a number of different setups that I'll use. So yes, that is one thing that I will use. So when you've got an early trend developing, markets are quite often coming off a base, and so then they'll have an initial move, first leg, so to speak, and they'll have a nice run up. Then I'll be looking for a pullback after that first run up to then, if it's a long situation, then to get long. So that is just one way, one technique that I will use for getting a long or short. But I use a number of different techniques.
Do you scale in and out of trades?
I do scale out of trades. Don't really scale into trades too much. What I might do is when I'm going into trades is I call it dipping my toe in the water. So sometimes I'll see an opportunity and price might be against a support zone, which I want to buy at, but I don't want to put a full position on it at that moment. So I'll put in a partial position, and if it then starts to confirm and starts moving in my direction, then I'll start adding into that position. Likewise, when I'm day trading, sometimes I might get in here and there might be a target level here where I might want to take half of my profits off. So that's called scaling out. So I'll take half of my profits off when it gets to a certain level and then just see if I can get a bit more of a run. If it wants to break through that resistance zone and go to another target level, great. I'll see if on the final half or the second half, I can get a bit more of a run. But so yes, I do it, but not on every trade.
Do you make use of trailing stop loss orders?
No, not really. I will trail my stops manually, but automated trailing stops, I'm not a big believer in because they don't factor in the volatility of price. So an automated trailing stop may just be trailing maybe 5% below the price or whatever. That's not factoring in what the actual price movement's actually doing. So I'd rather see what the price action is and then take a decision on when to trail that stop manually. But yes, I do trail my stops up. And the other thing is with trailing stops though, is that where a lot of people go wrong is that they try to get their stop losses to break even too soon, especially more so on where it becomes a problem is on swing trades, because there's that desperation to get to the point where you can't lose. And us educators tell them this stuff, this nonsense. Yeah, get into a place where you can't lose, and then it's okay. And the problem is if you move your stops up too aggressively, you're always going to be getting stopped out. It's going to happen too often. Give your trade room to breathe, because sometimes the market isn't ready to go when you want it to go. I was in a trade, for example, at the beginning of this year on the euro dollar, and it was going sideways for a good couple of weeks or so before it then broke out. So if I'd have tried to move my stop up too aggressively, I would have just got stopped out. I had my stop in the original position until the market properly started to move. Then I started to engage the stop management. But that's a big thing for me that I think that people go wrong on, is that they try to get stops up too soon, and as a result, they end up just getting stopped out.